Hello again, gamers. Welcome back to the Board Game Captain. I'm the Board Game Captain,
I'm Lynn.
I'm Juliana.
and we're doing another one of our recommendations to replace a classic game or games. This is going to be the second video that we've done where we replace two classic games. And in this case, we are replacing Rummy 500 or Mah Jongg. And it's because there is actually quite a lot of similarities between Rummy 500 and Mah Jongg. Both of them are classic set collecting games where you draw either cards or tiles into your hand, eventually work out sets and get sets out on the table to earn you points at the end of the game. So now all of the games we chose use set collecting in some fashion, and these are games that we would highly recommend to you to replace the classic games of Rummy 500 or Mah Jongg when trying to get someone who is into one of those games into modern games. And from there, you could branch out and show them all sorts of other modern games. So we think any of these would be good recommendations. Without any further ado, I think we can just get into it. We've each picked two games to recommend. Which one of you guys wants to start us off?
I can go.
You want to go?
Yep.
What you got first?
All right. So my first game is Murder of Crows. I love this game, first of all, because there's a pun right on the cover that says, "Uncover the story of a murder most foul," spelled Fowl.
That's great.
Love,
That's great.
Love it.
Yeah, that's great.
So with this game, you are trying to spell out the word murder, and on your turn, you get to draw a card and then play a card, or you can pass and draw two cards, and each card has a letter on it. And it also has an action, so it allows you to either swap a card or look at another card, draw a card, I think is another action. And
There's one that lets you draw another one, yeah.
Yeah.
There's one that forces your opponent to lose a card they've already put on the table.
Exactly, yeah. So, like, for instance, like the U and the D and the M, there's only one of those instead of the R where there's two R's, so you would want to get rid of.
And the R's I think are the one that let you draw an extra card.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So they say reap, which means
so you're trying to collect the set of the word murder.
Yeah.
And if you do, you win, and then you get to read out, which is, in my opinion, the best part is you get to read out the story, the tongue-in-cheek story of the
murder most foul. Yeah. It's a really fun game. I love the artwork in this game too. That's another huge positive for me. And again, the set collecting, and it plays up to 5 players, which is nice because a lot of games only go up to 4.
It is a really good game. It's a really good game.
So that's my first one.
So my first one is Taunton. So in Taunton, you are two warring Scottish clans fighting over the border stones between your territories. In reality, though, this is a bit of a set collecting game where you are laying down cards one at a time by each of the stones. And the cards will eventually make a 3-card hand that will either be a 3 of a kind, a straight, a flush, a straight flush, something like that. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to win the border stone by having the better hand. And it works, the value of the hands works in the same way that it would work in, say, Rummy 500. So if you're able to get 5 stones or 3 stones in a row, you win the game. And this is a ton of fun, quick, easy to learn set collecting game. I love this game, and that is Taunton. Plus, I love to say
I was going to say, it's fun to say.
Oh my God, is it fun to say. I just,
Okay.
Taunton. Come on, that's awesome.
My first choice is Behind the Throne.
Yes.
This is a set collecting game that also has a little bit of
Press your luck.
Press your luck. Yeah, the word was escaping me. Words. The phrase was escaping me.
The words is.
So you there's a deck in the middle of the table, and you flip over a card at a time, up to 5 cards, and as long as the next card is lower than the previous cards, the number on it is lower. If you can get all the cards if you get 5 flipped up and they're all sequentially.
Or you can stop, right?
You can also stop at any time, and then you get those cards, and then you put those cards in front of you, and if you have the most of a certain card, each different number has a special ability that you can do.
And generally speaking, the more valuable the card the less powerful their special abilities until you get to the real high value cards, which actually have disadvantages that you get. But then the lower value cards have great special abilities that you can continue to use to help to set collect. At the end of the game, you want the most points to win. That is a really good game. Really good game. What you got for your second one?
All right, my second one is one of my favorites. It is Cat Lady. We were talking about how this one is a little bit of a stretch.
A lot of these are, though. And that's fine.
You are collecting sets of toys. So the object of the game is to feed your cats. Your stray cats you can pick up, cats you can pick up on the board. And, you are collecting the toys and the cat trees, and there's catnip.
Catnip is amazing.
The catnip adds to the set collecting because you get extra points.
The catnip, if you set collect catnip, it gives you bonus points for every fed cat, which is huge.
Yeah. So that's really fun. It's a really simple game. Feel like anyone could play it. It says, I think, what does it say? How many players or how many up? Ages 14 and up. I mean,
that's a little bit of an overestimate.
I would even say like 10.
It's a bit of an overestimate. Yeah. No, this is really fun. I also really love the unique theme to it, but also this is one that hits the table for us a lot.
Yeah.
We rated this very positively when we reviewed it, and I know you've liked it a lot too. Yeah. And this is like, the thing that surprised me the most about this game, not how high we rated it, but how long we just keep playing it. It's just such a go-to icebreaker game for a game night. It really is.
And it's good for in between like one big game and another big game.
Oh yeah.
Because it's a nice like little palate cleanser. But
it is.
That's Cat Lady.
So my next one's probably the heaviest game of the bunch. We are recommending to be modern replacements to either Rummy 500 or Mah Jongg, but at the same time is one of the most on-the-nose replacements, probably the most on-the-nose replacement, and that is Ethnos. Ethnos is a bizarre hybrid of an area control game with a set collecting game. And the set collecting is done in the actual way, unlike most of these other games we've chosen, that it is done in both Rummy 500 and Mah Jongg. In that you get the cards in your hand, and when you have a set, you slap it down. And then what the set is that you slap down allows you to put pieces that you use towards the set collecting on the board, on the map, to help you control areas. So you can get points for playing cards, but you also get points for controlling the areas. And it's an interesting balance between the area control and the set collecting. And the different cards that you set collect, again, can give you cool special abilities when you play them. I really like Ethnos. I mean, these area control and set collecting sound like card set collecting, that is specifically, sound like mechanics that you wouldn't think might work really well together, but God, they do. In this game, it just... You're not a fan.
I like Ethnos. I think that it's also would be a good replacement for Ticket to Ride, even though Ticket to Ride's kind of a modern game.
Yeah, it's kind of, yeah.
But I like this one because of the theme. It's nice, and it's got like elves and dwarves and orcs.
The nice generic fantasy theme. You're a big fan of that.
I like it.
Fair enough.
I mean,
the best part of Ethnos is the colors of the pieces.
Yeah, they're like bright neon. And they don't match anything.
I love that you two guys love that because everyone else hates that.
No.
Like nobody likes.
I think it's hideous, but I
give me
love
neon pink, green, and blue any day.
Okay then.
I'm a child of the '80s, so
let's move on. What's your last one?
My last one is Parade. The scoring is you want the lowest score. So you don't want sets, but you're most likely going to end up making some sets, and then you want the most of those cards.
Little hard to... Okay, let me jump in real quick for that. So here's how this goes. You get a parade out in the middle of the table. You every turn must play a card into the parade and then draw a card. But the card you play in the parade may make you get cards which come in front of you and force you to set collect. So now the way that works is when you play a card, the number on the card, that many cards in the parade, you do not have to take. They're safe. After that, any cards that either match the color of the card you played or are equal to or less than the number of the card you played, you must take. You take those cards, you put them in front of you, and then at the end of the game, they're going to be worth points equal to their face value, unless you have the most of that color. If you have the most of that color, you'll get to flip them face down, and then they'll only be 1 point each. So it forces you to set collect, though you don't want to, because you don't want points. Person with the least points at the end of the game wins. How's that?
Yeah.
And it's super fun because you can play it. How many people does it play
I
up
think
to?
5.
We've played it with a lot of people.
6. Oh, it goes up to 6.
Yeah, we've played it with 6 people. Yeah. This is one we've had this one for a while. You bought this, and you bought it literally just based on the fact that it was Alice in Wonderland themed.
Yes.
And then that's another one where I've been very surprised with its staying power. But I think the reason specifically that it comes out so much is that's in your top 10 games of all time. We did our top 100 games of all time, and it made it to your top 10.
Well, it's easy to explain, and it's once you wrap your head around the I don't want points, but then once you do get points, I do want points. It's easy to play. You know?
The last time we played, I think we played with 5 or 6 people, and we all ended up within like 2 or 3 points of each other.
Yeah.
Like it was very close.
It often is. I once had a 0-point score. It happened one time. It was amazing. Perfect game. Perfect. It'll never happen again. It'll never happen again. But yeah, that was pretty awesome. I keep trying to duplicate that. It's never going to happen again. Never going to happen again. Anyway, so there you have it. There are some of our modern day replacements to Rummy 500 or Mah Jongg. Let us know down below in the comments, what are some of your favorite modern game replacements to either Rummy 500 or Mah Jongg, or what do you think of some of our choices to replace Mah Jongg and Rummy 500? And if you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see us do more like it, be sure to give it a like, share it on all forms of social media, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to the Board Game Captain. That's Captain spelled with a K on YouTube, and hit that little bell icon on my channel so you get alerts every time I upload a new video. And until next time, game on!